This is New Zealand Agenda with James O'Doherty.
Kia ora, welcome to the program. New Zealand's government narrowly avoided a significant blow this week, with the nation's 27,000 nurses last night calling off a planned strike action for this week after reaching a new pay settlement with the district health boards. This was significant for the government, not least because it committed $500 million to the new pay offer, but also because Jacinda Ardern promised there would be no industry-wide strikes under her government. Winston Peters admits that the new government is more sympathetic to public sector unions and their concerns, who have been crying out for more money for almost a decade under the previous government. But Winston Peters is warning unions not to push the coalition government too far. We'll hear more from Winston Peters on this in just a moment. The Foreign Minister also delivered a significant foreign policy speech last night in Dunedin, more or less fleshing out ideas that have been already raised about New Zealand's contribution in the Pacific region. But he also sent this message to China, which is significant considering what is happening in the South China Sea.
Artificial island building in contested waters, construction and the militarisation risks, escalating tensions there, and we're all extraordinarily concerned about it. Hence, New Zealand urges parties to resolve disputes peacefully in accordance with international law, and in particular the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea.
Now, Winston Peters says New Zealand is willing to work with China in the Pacific region, but only if China acts in the interests of Pacific countries and not their own interests. On this and the other issues of the week, I spoke with the Foreign Minister and Acting Prime Minister Winston Peters. Acting Prime Minister Winston Peters, thanks for joining me. In March, you announced the Pacific Reset, shifting the dial. Then in the budget, you announced New Zealand's first steps to increase involvement in the Pacific with more money. Now you're announcing the next steps. So how is that money going to be spent?
Well, I can tell you that Australia would be very encouraged by it. The certainty of purpose and our desire to partner up with a number of like-minded countries in the Pacific to do much more and to ensure that there is a lasting footprint of our voice and our culture, both New Zealand and if they're partnering with us and Australia in a number of projects as we go forward.
So have you decided where the extra $700 million will be spent?
Well, we're doing a lot of work on that as we speak to